You're at a crowded bar on a Friday night. The kind of place where laughter bounces off the walls and the air smells like expensive perfume mixed with spilled whiskey. You've had a long week, and you're not really looking for anything serious. Just a drink and maybe some decent conversation. Then she walks in. Or rather, he does. Let's call him Alex. Tall enough to notice, but not intimidating. Eyes that seem to lock onto yours for half a second too long, like he's reading something private in your soul. He doesn't approach right away. No cheesy pickup line. He just exists in the room, laughing with his friends, completely at ease.
You catch yourself glancing his way more than once. Why? You don't even know the guy. But something feels electric. By the end of the night, you're the one making excuses to bump into him at the bar. A casual comment turns into a conversation that stretches for hours. He listens like no one ever has. Really listens. And when he speaks, his words hit you in places you didn't know were vulnerable. You leave that night with his number, heart racing a little faster than usual, already replaying every moment in your head. What just happened? You got hooked. Fast. And you have no idea why. This isn't some fairy tale romance. It's the raw machinery of human psychology at work. The dark underbelly of seduction that exploits the way our brains are wired for connection, reward, and craving. Seduction isn't about flowers and sweet nothings. It's about triggering ancient survival circuits. The need to feel special, the fear of loss, the rush of uncertainty, and the chemical storm that makes maybe feel better than yes. Stick with me as we unravel this through the eyes of real people, guys like you who learned these secrets the hard way, and women who found themselves begging for more without understanding why. By the time we're done, you'll see exactly how it works and how you can flip the script so that she's the one chasing, texting first, and wondering why she can't stop thinking about you. The first spark, creating instant intrigue. Let's go back to Alex. He didn't overwhelm her with attention. That's the mistake most guys make, coming on too strong, like a golden retriever with compliments. Instead, Alex used what psychologists call the mere exposure effect, mixed with strategic distance. He was visible, but not desperate. Present, but unpredictable. In our story, meet Sarah. She's 28, successful in marketing, used to guys orbiting her like planets around a sun. But Alex? He mirrored her energy perfectly at first, matching her laugh, her pace, even the way she tilted her head when thinking. This is called emotional contagion. When someone reflects your emotions back with perfect timing, your brain floods with oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It's the same chemical that bonds mothers to babies. Suddenly, you feel seen, safe, addicted. But here's the dark twist. Alex didn't stay perfectly in sync. After that first deep conversation, he pulled back just a little. A text the next day that was warm but short. Then silence for 48 hours. Sarah found herself checking her phone obsessively. Did I say something wrong? No. He was weaponizing intermittent reinforcement, the same principle that makes slot machines addictive. Your brain releases more dopamine on unpredictable rewards than on steady ones. Consistent nice guys bore her. The guy who gives just enough, then vanishes, he owns her attention. Sarah started replaying their talk. What did he mean by that cryptic comment about not everyone can handle real depth? It planted a seed of curiosity mixed with challenge. Forbidden fruit effect. We crave what feels slightly out of reach. You can do this too. Next time you're talking to a woman, don't spill your whole life story. Share a vivid, emotional anecdote, something that shows vulnerability without weakness. Then change the subject or end the interaction on a high note. Leave her wanting the next chapter. Make her earn the rest of you. The push-pull engine. Why hot and cold feels like fire. Now the story deepens. Sarah texts Alex first after 2 days. He responds playfully, teases her about her marketing brain, always analyzing everything, then suggests a quick coffee. During the date, he's fully present. Deep eye contact, light touches on her arm that send shivers. He makes her feel like the most fascinating woman alive. That's love bombing light. Overwhelming positive attention that lowers defenses. But as the evening peaks, he shifts. A subtle neg. Not an insult, but a playful challenge. You're too sharp for most guys. Bet half of them run scared. It undermines just enough confidence to make her seek his validation. Negging works because it triggers the need to prove yourself to someone who seems high value. Then comes the pullback again. He walks her to her car, kisses her cheek instead of going for more, and says, "This was dangerous. I don't usually let myself get this caught up so fast." Boom. Scarcity principle. Suddenly, she's the one wondering if she'll ever see him again. Her brain interprets his restraint as high status. He's not needy. He's selective. Over the next weeks, the pattern intensifies. Warm, intense nights where he opens up just enough to make her feel like she's cracking his shell. Then cool periods where he's busy with his life. Friends, gym, mysterious projects. She starts initiating more. Canceling plans with girlfriends to be available. Begging? Not yet, but the obsession is building. This is the dark triad at play, in subtle form. Not full psychopathy, but elements of narcissism, confident self-assurance, Machiavellianism, calculated timing, and a touch of psychopathy, emotional detachment that makes him unpredictable. Studies show women often rate men with these traits as more attractive for short-term flings because they signal dominance and genetic fitness. The confidence looks like strength. The mystery looks like depth. But it's not just dark traits. It's Cialdini's principles of influence turned seductive. Reciprocity. He gives a genuine compliment or favor first, so she feels compelled to give back emotionally or physically. Social proof. He casually mentions other women in his orbit without bragging. Preselection makes him more desirable. And authority. He speaks with quiet conviction about life, making her lean in. Sarah started feeling it physically. Heart racing when his name popped up. Jealousy when he mentioned a work friend. That's triangulation. Introducing the idea of competition without being obvious. Her brain's reward system was hijacked. Dopamine from the highs, cortisol from the uncertainty, oxytocin from the bonds. She was chemically hooked. The deep hook. Emotional regression and vulnerability loops. Here's where it gets dangerous and powerful. Alex didn't just play games on the surface. He created what feels like profound connection. One night, after a perfect date, he shared a real story about a past hurt. Not too much, just enough to make her want to heal him. This is regression seduction, positioning yourself as someone who evokes protective or maternal instincts while still being dominant. She opened up in return, told him things she'd never told dates before. He listened without judgment, then reframed her vulnerabilities positively. Most people would crumble under that. You turned it into strength. That's rare. Earned validation. She felt special.
Then, the push. He disappeared for a weekend. No explanation. When he resurfaced, he was warmer than ever, acting like nothing happened. "Missed our talks," he said casually. She melted. The relief after absence amplified the bond. This cycle, pleasure, pain, pleasure, creates traumatic bonding. Like why people stay in toxic relationships. The highs feel higher after the lows. Women aren't stupid. Sarah knew something felt off, but the chemistry overrode logic. Her friend said he seemed intense. She defended him. That's consistency principle. Once she invested time and emotion, her brain rationalized it to avoid cognitive dissonance.
If you want her begging, master this loop ethically first, then amp the darkness if needed. Build real connection through shared experiences and deep talks. Then create space. Let absence do the work. When you return, amplify the warmth. She'll start filling the gaps herself, texting more, planning dates, wondering why you're not always available. The forbidden edge. Mystery, jealousy, and the chase. Months in, Sarah was fully invested. Alex suggested they slow things down because this feels too real too fast. Forbidden fruit again. Telling her why you could never really be together. Wrong timing, complicated life, makes her brain rebel and want it more. He introduced light jealousy, not by flirting obviously, but by being socially magnetic in group settings. Other women laughed at his jokes. He didn't chase them, which made him seem even higher value. Preselection plus scarcity equals obsession fuel. One night, after a minor argument, he went silent. Sarah panicked. She called, texted paragraphs, even showed up at his usual spot by coincidence. That's when she started begging, subtly at first. I just need to see you. He returned warmer, rewarding her investment. Intermittent reinforcement at its finest. She was now chasing the version of him that made her feel alive. Dark psychology here exploits fear of abandonment mixed with hope. Our brains hate uncertainty, but crave the dopamine chase. Make her guess your next move. Be the puzzle she can't solve. Flipping the script. How to make her beg for you. You've seen how it works on the receiving end. Now reverse it. Become the seducer who hooks without getting hooked. Build unshakable frame. Develop your own life first. Gym, hobbies, friends, purpose. Women sense when a man has options. Scarcity works both ways. When you're not needy, your attention feels like a prize. Master push-pull. Give intense presence, then withdraw. Compliment specifically and sincerely, then tease lightly. Keep her emotional roller coaster going. Boredom kills attraction. Excitement sustains it. Trigger primal wires. Use deep eye contact. Slow, deliberate touch. Speak with conviction. Show glimpses of dark edge. Confidence with a hint of danger, without being creepy. Dark triad traits attract because they signal this man isn't like the safe, boring ones. Create investment loops. Make her qualify herself. Ask questions that make her share deeply, then validate selectively. Have her do small favors or plan things. People value what they invest in. Weaponize absence and mystery. End interactions on peaks. Respond slower sometimes. Let her imagination fill blanks. When she pulls away, don't panic. Mirror it or amplify. Sexual tension through restraint. Build physical chemistry slowly. Kiss like you mean it, then pull back. Make her initiate more. Withholding full access early creates massive craving. The ultimate hook. Become the man who understands her emotions better than she does. Mirror, then lead. Make her feel emotions around you she doesn't elsewhere. Excitement, safety, challenge, desire. She'll associate you with that chemical high. In our story, Sarah eventually confronted Alex. I can't stop thinking about you. What are we doing? She was begging for clarity, for commitment, for more. He had her exactly where he wanted, emotionally dependent while he stayed in control. But here's the real power move. You don't have to be toxic to get these results. Use the psychology to become genuinely high value. The dark side teaches the mechanics. Your character decides if you use it to build something real or just conquests. Think about the guy who walks into any room and women notice, not because he's the loudest, but because he operates from abundance. He doesn't chase validation. He gives experiences that hook on a primal level. You can be that guy. Start small. Next interaction, don't overinvest. Create mystery. Watch how she leans in. Test the pullback. Notice the shift in her energy.
Seduction isn't magic. It's understanding the hidden code of the human mind. Dopamine, oxytocin, fear, desire, all dancing together. Why do we get hooked so fast? Because our brains are ancient machines optimized for survival in uncertain worlds, and modern seduction hacks every lever. The woman who used to have options, now she's texting you first, canceling plans for you, wondering why she feels this pull she can't explain. She'll beg for your time, your touch, your attention. Not because you tricked her, because you became the addiction she never saw coming. Master this, and the game changes forever. The power shifts. You become the one who decides the pace, the depth, the outcome. Now go out there and test it. Start tonight. Watch what happens when you stop chasing and start hooking. The hook is in your hands.